Hello, and welcome to Color Commentary. I'm TJ, your average fan, and I'll be talking to you today about Teen Wolf, Season 3, Episode 5. Let's get into it, shall we? Spoilers! Okay, so we finally got this cross-country meet that we're all on a school bus headed to. They got a 5-hour school bus ride to wherever they're going for this track meet. This cross-country meet, that is. And apparently, Scott is wounded. Boyd and Isaac are trying to remain calm because, let me think, Aiden, is Ethan and Aiden? I think so, the twins. Aiden's on the bus, and Boyd wants to take him out. So what we got is a flashback episode of what has already transpired, because how did Scott get wounded? Well, here we go. They were trying to figure out a way to find out where Deucalion was, because they're like, we're not going to try to take on all the alphas, we're just going to take out the top alpha, and hopefully that'll make the rest of them disperse or make them, less formidable enemies to take out. So Scott visited Allison because he found her arrow from last episode, and he like telling her to stay out of it, and all this other stuff, and she like, no. She talked to her dad, and he like, no, we're not even getting involved. But of course, she ends up getting involved later. So in the process of him leaving her house, who's in the building, because apparently they live in some tall skyscraper now that's in Beacon Hills that this small town never had before, but suddenly after 2 seasons they got this whole downtown area that's giant with large buildings and factories and all this other stuff that's going on that didn't exist season 1. But I'm gonna digress and I'm gonna move on. They're in a penthouse apartment, in this building, and he's in the building, so he's thinking that he's found out where Deucalion is. But the other wolves have also found out where Deucalion is, and Derek's making a plan with his uncle to go take him out. And they're like, well, it's clearly a setup, but they're going anyway. So what happens is they go and basically get their butts handed to them. Pretty much, all of them that went down except for Derek, and Deucalion was like, kill Boyd and we'll let the rest of them go. But then that's when Allison showed up with her flashbang arrows, and tides turned, and the rest of them got took down a little bit, a peg. Anyway, Deucalion got the hell out of there, so I'm pretty sure the one with the wear those shoes, she took him. And then there's another one called Enos. That's the one I was mainly fighting with Derek, and they went over the side. But at the same time, during this fight, I guess, Scott got really pissed. And his eyes turned red. So I'm like, whoa, those alpha colors, what's happening? And then he shook his head and they turned back yellow. And I was like, oh, snap. And Scott, like, how does that work? How do you force yourself into alphahood? Even though it pretty much looks like that anyway, because he's controlling Derek's wolves. All you gotta do now is control Derek, and he will be an alpha. I'm just saying, because he got everybody else under control. Especially when he gets to yelling at them and they listen. They don't listen to nobody else. Only other person I seen do that was Derek. Why? Because he was the alpha. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, Derek and Enos went off the edge. They was in this like mall, like terrible mall. Toe down, both assumed to be dead. So Scott's all depressed about, Derek's dead, and so they thinking it's psychosomatic, why he's not healing from the wound he received from Enos, because Enos scratched him good. So Allison and Lydia are following the bus, so then they ended up catching up to him, found out about the issue thanks to Styles, and thanks to Styles, got the bus pulled over to the side at a rest stop, because somebody was sick anyway, and he just forced them to throw up. And so that Allison could tend to Scott, who she sold him up, and then he had to do some belief, and hopefully he's going to be healing. We're still not clear on that part, but hopefully he will be starting to heal after this. They still trying to figure out about this Duroc and this other thing, why the alphas are doing their thing, this thing is doing this thing with ritual killings, and they still trying to figure that out. And overall, everybody now is on the bus on their way to this meet, this whole thing they got going on. So that was this week's episode. We got to see some flashback about the battle they had prior. It was decent. I'll give it that. It was good. I enjoyed that a lot. Got to see the double wolves again and all of that good stuff. And Enos was going to be saved by Deaton, the vet, which he pretty much was until Deucalion came in and crushed his head. So I'm pretty sure he took his power, just made himself stronger. So that sucked. And so he don't even have respect for the people he with. Like, this is not a group to be with. Real talk. I'm just saying. Again, that was this week's episode. I will see you guys for the next one. In the meantime, have a great day.